Hello, I am Dr. Jay Hitson, and today we're going to talk about the unhealthy triad, the hysterectomy, gallbladder removal, and thyroid issues. Now, when we're talking about hysterectomy, reproductive organs in general, of course, I'm referring mostly to women here. If you're younger, it may be more just endometriosis or PCOS, or you just may be having a lot of menstrual symptoms that are pretty extreme. In general, there's issues in the reproductive system that as women get older, they typically lead to a hysterectomy. And then there's the gallbladder. The gallbladder, having issues, gallstones, and then eventually removal as well. And then we start to see the thyroid, okay? And then the thyroid combination there, now we're talking about just overall thyroid issues, needing thyroid medication, and sometimes even we do see where people have had their thyroid removed. This combination of issues, the hysterectomy, gallbladder, and thyroid, the unhealthy triad. These are three very, very different systems, but so often people are coming to me who have had one, if not all three of these procedures are already in place. And here's why this combination keeps happening. It's because your body prioritizes essential organ functions over non-essential organ functions. So when there are resources coming in, your minerals, your vitamins, your nutrients, we run on vitamins, minerals, nutrients. When those nutrients come in, the essential organ functions, they get first dibs of all the resources, and then just whatever is left goes to the non-essential functions. So things like your liver, your heart, your lungs, they get first dibs. They're more essential. You can technically live without your reproductive system. Many people do. So your body looks at that, and when it prioritizes, okay, we only have so many resources, well, frankly, the reproductive system is not going to make the budget. Now, we run into the same thing, for instance, a gallbladder. You can live without a gallbladder. So the gallbladder in a deficient state, it won't get the resources, and we start to see issues, and we start to see a diseased gallbladder. It's just like a plant. If you don't give the nutrients to the plant, eventually, it doesn't happen overnight, but eventually that plant starts to wither away. It becomes diseased. It dies because it's not getting the resources it needs. That same thing will happen. Again, your reproductive system, if it's not getting the resources it needs to function properly, yes, you're going to have all kinds of different issues. Name the disease, and especially infertility. That's one of the big ones, because if you're lacking resources enough to fuel all your organs, you definitely aren't going to have enough to fuel another human being. So your system just simply will not allow for reproduction. In fact, it sees it as a liability. They see your entire reproductive system as a liability, something that can hurt you because you aren't getting what you need. And then, of course, eventually we usually see the thyroid come into play. It's usually not the first one. Usually the reproductive system is one of the first ones to show up. Sometimes the gallbladder. Now, you're saying, this depletion, you're in a deficient state. Where's this coming from? It can come from a lot of different places. One, it can be just, constant calorie restriction, so a really, really limited diet that is, designed to keep you thin, but doesn't have the nutrients. And so while it doesn't take a lot of calories to run your system, it does require a lot of nutrients. So when people are trying to lose weight, on celery sticks and rice cakes, they're not very nutrient dense foods. So while the calories are low, while you may be able to, get some of that weight off, what it ends up leading to is a nutrient deficiency. And in a nutrient deficiency, then these non-essential organ functions, they're the first to suffer. So if you are somebody, and again, if you've already had all three, you're probably at least in your 40s, if not 50s and 60s. Again, it just takes time for this level of depletion to make its way to all of those organs. But if you are already, you're like, yeah, that's me, the hysterectomy, gallbladder, and now my thyroid's underactive. You have been in a chronic depleted state. And again, it could be from your diet. It could be your digestive system is not taking in the nutrients. A lot of the people that I talk to, they will talk about how they have very poor digestion. They know their digestive system is an issue. So it can be from that. It could be from a lot of other things. That's where we have to really work one-on-one to find out where's the root cause. Why are the nutrients not making it into the system? And that requires a personal in-depth conversation to figure that part out. But as a whole, just understanding that even if you are younger and you're just starting down one of these paths, stop the progression. Figure out how to get into a nutrient-rich state. My role in all of this is really, really simple. I use blood work to find out where the deficiency is coming from. I use the same lab analysis that all of your other physicians use. We just look at it in a different way. We look at what's healthy versus just what's normal. Some of these women especially are being told, oh, your labs, you're within normal range. Well, normal doesn't mean healthy. And that, again, back to a depletion, if there's just not, you're right on the borderline, your body doesn't know we're not technically diseased until we hit 6.4 on the blood work. It just knows that's stress. That's an issue. So we use the blood analysis to find out where's this coming from, how do we refuel you, and how do we stop this progression.